Getting around on the TTC is not always easy. Magda Graber-Selassie joins us live with the CBC exclusive. And Magda, a man is looking for changes after his wheelchair got stuck between the platform and the train.
Yeah, he actually contacted CBC about his story. Now, this happened last week on Friday. The University of Toronto student actually moved from Ottawa here to Toronto. Just a couple of months ago, and he was making his way downtown on Friday, getting on at St. George, making it down to Union Station, and then on his way back, he got into some trouble.
Okay, so I tried to get on the subway by driving forward, and what happened was my chair couldn't make it over the lip and the gap, and my wheel actually got stuck in that gap. And once I step up, they're stepping up. And so my chair wasn't able to do that, and my entire wheel fell between that gap, and my chair started to tip over. And if not for two people coming out and pulling my chair from the gap, I may have fallen right onto the subway tracks. Who knows, it could have been a very fatal day if not for those two people coming out and helping me.
You must have been so scared.
I really was, yes.
This was actually your first ride since moving to Toronto a few months ago.
Yes, and before even taking the subway, I was extremely apprehensive because there's many of my friends who have experienced this exact same thing. They just haven't really stepped up to complain about it.
But Roddy did complain about it. He actually took his concerns to the TTC, and we did as well. I actually spoke to Brad Ross earlier today, and he admits that, yes, of course, there are gaps between the platform and the subway trains. Now, when it comes to the height difference, he says with the newer trains, when they pull into the subway station, they actually level off for the most part. But here's what he had to say when it comes to the gap, the width of the gap, rather.
There's nothing we can do about the width because of the dynamic envelope of the train. The train passes through that station, and you watch a train as it comes through, and it sort of does this. So you can't build out the platform because the train would then interfere with the movement of the train.
The TTC excuses themselves and says, well, we can't do anything because we already have all this infrastructure built. But in my opinion, it'd be easy for them to implement a ramp in all their subways and simply deploy it when someone in a wheelchair or, say, an elderly person is waiting for the subway.
Now, Brad Ross says this is something that the TTC can look into, but right now, that's not a possibility. He does go on to remind people to look out for the signs warning people about the gaps, but that's not good enough for Roddy. Right now, he is avoiding the subway. I'll throw it back to you guys.
It's too bad. Thank you, Magda. A passenger who rushed off the streetcar the night Samuel T.